Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com. And what I want to do today is talk about, well, using NextJS. NextJS is a React framework. It's basically a full stack framework. It adds kind of extra stuff that's not already in React. The ability to kind of have a backend, create APIs, and render your server page application dynamically in the backend. So basically what it does allows you to arrange all your files. You'll still end up with a single page application, but it's rendered dynamically on the server side and then delivered to the user. So that way it's just more flexible, more dynamic, more cool. So all you really need to do to get started is you just need this command right here. So copy npx create next app. Okie dokie. So let's give that a shot. So I'm going to head over to my environment. Let me just go to where I want to do this. I'm going to create a new folder. Actually, I'll create a whole new parent directory. So new folder. This is going to be my Next.js apps. And then we're going to go in there. I'm going to copy the full path, open up a terminal. And again, this doesn't come default in Atom. It does in VS Code. To do this, you just download the package termination. And it'll work. Okay. And then I'm going to cd into that directory. Okay, and from there we're going to run that command. Paste. Let's see. Surprised I don't have to put a project name, so it might error out, but it didn't say so in the doc, so we'll just go with it. But basically what we'll be able to do is basically create a full stack app. So I'll just pause the recording while this does. It asks you what your project name is in here. So we're going to say our tutorial project. Oh, can't contain letters. So I need to change that. Tutorial project. There we go. Setting it all up. Bum, 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 bum. I'll pause it while it does that. Okay, so it's done installing. So basically here we have, yay, it's created. And we have a couple different things we can do. We can run the dev server so that we can start developing. When we're done, if we want to put it out for production, we can do npm run build, which will build a sort of a production ready version. And npm start will run the prediction, we'll run it in production mode. So that way when you want to actually deploy the app, that's the command you would want to put in your proc file for like Heroku or something. Cool. So with that, let's run npm run dev. Well, actually, we have to go into the folder first. cd tutorial project npm run dev. Okay, that's going to start starting the dev server. I'll give it a second for it to start up. Okay, so when you go to the page, you're going to see this. This is sort of the default. Let's take a look at some of these links. Okay, now these are like tests, but this is all the index.js. So let's go take a look at the files and explore what this is before we adjourn to the next lesson where we'll go even deeper into Next.js. And again, this is server-side rendered React framework. So it's all about doing more back-end server stuff with React. Let's see here. So we go in here. Then we're going to see a bunch of different folders. Okay, our components folder is where we're going to have individual components, like pieces that we're going to want. Because what they're going to do is they're going to separate whole page components versus individual piece components. Because anytime you want like a full page, you're going to want to put that component in here. Because what's going to do is that it's going to treat whatever is in here as a route. So index, so like the route index is this file right here. And then if I were to create a file called, so let's say if I were to duplicate this file and call it Bob. Okay, now what I can do is I can go to And actually, let's make a little change in it. And Bob, let's change it to welcome to Bob. Welcome to Bob. Okay, so now when I go to /Bob, okay, it's loading. Welcome to Bob. Okay, so it loads up the page. Cool. So in this case, I don't have to really think about routing. It's kind of built in. I just basically set up my pages, then I get my components set up to piece together my pages, and life's okay. And so that's what the pages folder does. Got my components folder to make my nav. So if I wanted to edit the nav that was in there, that's right there. Then we have our public folder, which just like in any kind of backend node project, your public folder is where you can put your static files. So if I want to, so in this case, they have like your favicon here. But if you want to put like other images you wanted to refer to or include, you'd put them in this folder, and then it would work from the root. So if it was like, so this is like really /favicon.ico. And then there's just a standard git ignore with all the stuff you would want in your git ignore. Oh no, don't click on the package lock. Always click on the package lock. Takes forever to open. It's just a bunch of metadata you never have to touch. So now I have to wait for that to open before I can do anything else. Thank you, Node. Okay, there it is. See, it's just a bunch of endless pieces of information. Then we got the package JSON. So the dependencies we have in this project are Next, React, and React DOM. The scripts we have available to us are dev, build, and start. Cool. And let's see, we have a just .next folder. I'm not quite sure what's in here. Oh, okay, so this is just all the stuff in the back that kind of makes the server work and sets up the static folder. Doesn't seem like anything we'll really need to touch with or bother with at the moment. There's Webpack, so it can bundle everything, but that all manages itself. Basically, we're working out of this, making your pieces, making your pages, and your public folders. And there's going to be a lot of other cool stuff you'll be able to do, but we'll get into that as we go on. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Ciao.